Alright, so I'm doing these tutorials just to make sure that you understand how to do some constructions. I'll go back to the beginning with duplicating or copying a line segment. Here's the line segment that I need to copy. So our first step is to create a line, a starter line. Here it is. And then I'm going to mark a point on that line. Let's call that A. Doesn't matter where you mark it. I mean, if it's A, I should be calling it A prime. Alright, so now I have A prime right here. To duplicate this line segment, first, start a line, mark a point. Second, take out your compass, put one end point, the pointing on either A or B. Open up the compass to the other end point, and you need to create an arc. If we don't see this arc right here, either on this end point or this end point, then you did not construct. Next, we are going to take this compass, put it on A prime, and there we go. This is our new point, B prime. What you just did right now is copy or duplicate a line segment. Alright? The next construction is to duplicate or copy an angle. So we have an angle here. Angle A is given to us. In order for us to duplicate or copy an angle, I still have, my first step is to create a starter line. So here's my starter line, and I'm going to mark a point. Let me get that point. I'm going to call that A prime. Alright. So now we have this. That's our first step. Here's our, we made a, alright, here we go. First step, starter line, just like duplicating a line segment, mark a point. Second, take our compass out. Put the pointy end on the vertex, and then you are going to open your compass as much as you want. Don't make it too small, but as much as you want, and create an arc that intersects the original angle. You're going to call those intersection B and C, or whatever you want to call them. Okay, but do you see, I keep this same span of the compass. I'm going to go to A prime, take my compass down to A prime, and I need to create an arc that intersects this line. Now, when we do doubling or tripling, that's why I'm going to create a big arc. But you see where it crosses the line right here? If you really want to, you can create a circle. It really wouldn't matter. But my goal is this point right here. This gives me, this arc right here is right there. Now the thing is, where does this line go? Which means I need to find this opening from B to C. And in order for to do that, I got to take my compass, place it on either B or C, adjust my compass such that the my writing part is on either B or C. And this is where most of you are messing up, right here. We need to see an arc on the original where you showed us that you measured this width. So now we're going to take this, you see this intersection right here, down there, And we're going to make a small arc right here. Oh, let me go back a little bit. And we do one bit. Let's make this nice. Oh, there we go. Something's going on here. Pick the compass. There we go. I know, sometimes technology is hard. But you see, this is this angle. So if I want to double it, I put it over here. And I do it again. Let me change color so you can see that I did double. See it? If I want to triple, again, and so on. But we just wanted to copy a line segment. So the copy of line segment is this red thing right here. So now I'm just going to do my ray. We just copied this angle. Now, if I, like I said, if I want to double, we can do bluish. This was double the angle. So sometimes it is nice to create a circle, but you make sure that this is your intersection right here. That's where C prime would be. And this will be your B prime right here. Okay? Now we want to bisect a line segment. So first I start with a line segment. Bisecting is simple. First step, I take the compass, put it at one of the endpoints, and we have to stretch it more than halfway. This is about halfway, more than halfway. And we're going to create an arc. Make it a big arc. Make it like a semicircle, a half a circle. And the reason why here, because you're going to do it from the other side. And we need to see those intersections. So I'm going to take this compass to the other side. Move my compass closer. And do you see that those two intersect right there? These are my intersection points. Now I can draw either a ray, a line, or a line segment. It wouldn't matter. That goes through those 2 points. And we just bisected that line segment right there. We're going to call that M for midpoint, because it's a bisector, which means the distance from A to M is half the distance from A to B, which also means the distance from A to M is the same as the distance from M to B. Bisecting a line segment. Now we're going to bisect an angle. Just like a line segment, but we have an angle, angle A. Well, a lot of you try to do this by hand, and a lot of you try to make sure that I did not know that you're doing it by hand, or something is wrong. I don't know what the thing is, but it's only 3 little steps. Step 1, put the point on the vertex and open your compass as much or as well as you want. I'm going to go medium right now and create an arc. Okay, now I have these 2 intersections right there. Let me call them B and C right now. Now, a lot of you, this next stage, when you bisect, I get a lot of arcs right here in the middle, right here. Right here. But that can't be. If this is the span of the compass, we're going to take this compass, put it on C, and we are going to create an arc here on the inside. Keep that same distance now, put it on B, alright. There's where the arcs should be. A lot of you give me arcs right around here. That is impossible. This distance from A to C should be from C to right here to one of those arcs, and from B to one of those arcs. This is how I know if you did this correctly or not. So now all I have to do is create my ray. as you see, we just bisected an angle. You know what? I'm going to include the 1/4 in this because it's the same process, but now I'm looking at this half angle right there. So what you can do are two things. One, you can keep this same setting. See the same setting? Then you can take the compass, but you see you're talking about this small angle from here. See the pointer? So I can put it at C here, and I can put it right here. See it? Right there, and where? Right there. But if you don't want that, I'm going to take the compass, make a different arc. You see the green now? Just focus on the green. This is half the angle right here. This is the arc that's for the half angle. Just like this big arc for the big angle. Do you see these two intersections over here? I'm going to keep the same measurement of this compass, put one on the top. Oops, let me undo that. See, that's my green, and one on the bottom. That's my green. See where it is? This distance from A to the green is from here to here. Not out here, not out there, not out there, like some of you are giving me. So, now let's do our ray. Let's do it in green. There it is. So it's the same process, but you're doing half the angle. This is bisecting an angle. Now we're going to construct a perpendicular from a point that's on the line. Here's a line, here's a point that's on the line. Just pick any point. Well, in order for me to create a perpendicular, the thing that's going up and down through this point, I need a segment first. But I don't see a segment. That's the whole purpose. So we need to construct a segment first. So we are going to take our compass, put the pointy on A, open it as much as you want, and you're going to construct either an arc above or below that intersects the line. And this purpose is to give me this segment from here to here. Let me call that B and C. That is the whole idea for this. Now I have segment BC. Well, bisect it. Just like we did in bisecting a line segment. Put the pointy on one of the endpoints. Has to be what? More than halfway. Make a big arc. Now go to the other side. Another arc. Now you can draw your ray, your line, or your segment through those. As you see, I know technology is sometimes a little bit off, but it should go through that point A. You just created a perpendicular from a point that is on the line. So the process is we need to create a segment, so we need this arc to create this segment and then bisect it. That's all there is to creating a perpendicular from a point on the line. Now we want to construct or create a perpendicular from a point that is not on the line. Last time this point was on the line. This time it's not on the line. Well, from the last time when it was on the line, we needed to create a segment. Well, nothing changes here. We need to create a segment. So let's take our compass, put it on point A, open that compass, get close to that line, open as much as if you want, and I'm just showing you right now, would this work? Yep, see it? It's going to create a line segment for me. Do you see this line segment from here to here? So let's call that B and C. Now all I have to do is bisect this line segment. So I'm going to take the compass, put it on B. Remember to open it more than halfway. Let me change colors for you. More than halfway. Big arc. Other side. Big arc. And voila. You just created a perpendicular from a point not on the line. So again, the process is simply the same. The last one was the point was on. This is not on. We still need this segment. In order to get to that segment, we need to create that arc and then just bisect the segment. All right. Now I want to construct a line parallel to this line right here. So in order to do that, you have to pick a point on this given line. So I just picked any point right here, A. And what I'm going to do is I need to create a perpendicular, just what we just did a minute ago, creating a perpendicular first. So let's get our compass out. Let's make, I don't see a line segment, so I have to create that line segment. Put my pointy on A, open, doesn't matter how much, and there we go. I just made this line segment BC. Okay, so do you see this line segment BC? Alright, here we go. And now I just have to bisect it. So, here we go. Get my compass out. Put the pointy on one of the endpoints. Make sure it's more than halfway. And make a big arc. Go to the other side. Make a big arc. And now let's construct my line. Alright, let's do this. There we go. And it's a little bit off just because this is over here. Alright, now I have this perpendicular. It came from making this segment and bisecting this segment. If I want a line parallel to this, then all I have to do is choose a point, not this one, but any point that is on this line that I just created. So let's choose a point. Here, I'll do it at the bottom. Right here. Let me extend this line a little bit. So I'm choosing this point right here. It could be up there, it could be here, it doesn't really matter. Just choose a point that is on this line. Now if we gave you a point, then you would do a segment and bisect again. That's the same thing. I chose a point here. All I have to do is create a perpendicular to that right here, going this way. So to create this perpendicular here, or this bisector, I need a segment, which means, here we go again. I'm going to do it in green. Put my compass there and watch. The reason for this is to make this line segment. Let me call that D and E here. You see line segment DE? And now all I have to do is bisect this line segment. Let's go bluish. Point on E. Make sure it's more than halfway. Big arc on this side. Big arc on that side. Do you see the blue? Let's go with blue. There you go. So, to do a parallel to a given line, what you need first, move this out of the way. You need this line, pick a point, create a segment and bisect it. On this bisector, create another point, make a line segment and bisect it. That's how you create parallel lines. Now I want to create an isosceles triangle given a certain length to be one of the sides. If you look at line segment AB, I want that to be the side of one of my triangle. So the first thing is I need to draw a starter line and mark a point on that line right there. So let me call that A prime. And since I want this to be one of my sides, then I have to copy that line segment. So I'm going to go here, let's go black, and let's copy this line segment. Remember, copying a line segment, we got to make sure that we see this arc right here. Let me make this clear for you, that I should see an arc on the original. Then take it to A prime and make that arc. So I just copied that line segment. Keep this span right here, this compass. We're going to call that B prime. Alright. So right here. Let's see if I want this from A to B prime. To be that distance, create a circle. Create that circle. Do you see from A prime, B prime is this, which hence is the radii of this circle with center A prime. So this is one side of an isosceles triangle. Well, I need another side. Well, I thought isosceles was at least two congruent sides. So that means that this, and I need another side here. So if I pick a point anywhere on this circle, anywhere, I don't care where you pick it, let me pick it right over here. Let me call that C prime. Oops, hold on. Then this distance, let me do it in red. A prime C prime is the same as A prime B prime. Well, these are two sides that are congruent, which means in order for me to create this isosceles triangle using this as the base, as the side, here's one side, here's the same side. Now all I have to do is connect C prime to B prime, and you see this is the base of the triangle where C prime A prime is equal to A prime B prime because they're both radii of the same circle. We just constructed an isosceles triangle given this length as one of the sides. The next one will be this length as one of the base. Alright, so based on what we did last time, again, I saw this triangle as a side, now I want the same length here to be the base. So first we draw a starter line and mark a point on it. Let me call that A prime, and I have to copy this line segment. So I take my compass. Well, you know what? Let's make that. And let me copy. Let's see if I can copy that. Yeah, it's easier if I do it this way. Alright. Remember, I need to see this marking on the original. That means you copied it. Take it to A prime, and I keep that setting, but I want you to make a circle. Make a circle. Alright, so now I have a line segment AB. Now I have line segment A prime, and we have B prime right here. I want this to be the base, which means I need two other sides to be congruent. So if I pick a point anywhere on this circle and it goes from A prime to that point, then those will be the same. So that's not going to work. So in order for me to make sure that I get two radii the same distance, if this is pretend this is circle A prime, it has radius A prime B prime. If I go and keep that same setting that was there, but this time put the pointy on B prime and create another circle, do you see where it went through? It went through A prime. See it? Let me undo that. So now this red circle has radius A prime B prime. This blue circle has radius B prime A prime. They are the same distance, which means that if this is the base of my triangle, any point right here, see this this intersection right there? From A prime to that intersection and from B prime to that intersection, these are the same distances because they came from the same span circle. So if I take a line segment from A prime to the intersection and from B prime to the intersection, let's call that intersection C prime. Do you see A prime C prime, which is the radius of this red circle, and B prime C prime, which is the radius of this blue circle? They are the same radii. Then you might be saying to yourself, well, all three of them are the same. Then you are correct. This situation should give me an equilateral triangle. Remember definition, equilateral triangle? We talked about that in class. So at least two sides must be congruent. Here we go.